Hi everyone, how's it going? I'm Nori. 今日の動画は読み聞かせ裸の王様をお送りします。こちら前編になります。The Emperor's New Clothes 早速行ってみましょう。Let's get started. Many years ago, there lived an emperor who was so monstrous fond of fine new clothes that he spent all his money on being really smart. He didn't care about his army, he didn't care for going to the play or driving out in the park, unless it was to show his new clothes. He had a coat for every hour in the day, and just as people say about a king that he's holding a council, so in this country, they always said, the emperor is in his dressing room. In the great city where he lived, life was very pleasant. Lots of strangers came there every day. And one day, there arrived two swindlers. They gave out that they were weavers and said they knew how to make the loveliest stuff that could possibly be imagined. Not only were the colors and patterns extraordinarily pretty, but the clothes that were made of the stuff had this marvelous property that they were invisible to anyone who was either unfit for his situation or else was intolerably stupid. Very excellent clothes those must be, thought the emperor. If I wore them, I could tell which are the men in my realm who aren't fit for the post they hold. I could tell clever people from stupid ones. To be sure, that stuff must be made for me directly. Accordingly, he gave the two swindlers a large sum in advance, so that they might begin their work. They set up two looms and pretended to be working, but they hadn't a vestige of anything on the looms. In hot haste, they demanded the finest of silk and the best of gold, which they stuffed into their own pockets, and they worked away at the bare looms till any hour of the night. I should like to know how they are getting on with the stuff, thought the emperor. But to tell the truth, he had a little misgiving when he reflected that anyone who was stupid or unsuited to his post couldn't see the stuff. Of course, he was confident that he needn't be afraid for himself. All the same, he decided to send someone else first to see how things were. Everybody in the whole city knew what the marvelous power was in the stuff, and everybody was agog to see how incompetent and how stupid his neighbor was. I'll send my good old minister down to the weavers, thought the emperor. He can quite well see how the stuff is shaping. He's an intelligent man, and no one is better fitted for his post than he. So the worthy old minister went into the hall where the two swindlers were sitting, working at the bare loom. Heaven help us, thought the old minister, starting with all his eyes. I can't see a thing. But he didn't say so. Both the swindlers begged him to be pleased to step nearer, and asked if here was not a pretty pattern and beautiful colors. And they pointed to the bare looms, and the poor old minister kept staring at it, but he couldn't see anything, because there was nothing to be seen. Gracious goodness, thought he. Can I be stupid? I never thought so, and nobody must get to know it. Can I be unfit for my office? No, no. It won't do for me to say I can't see the stuff. Well, have you nothing to say about it? Said the one who was weaving. Oh, it's charming, most delightful, said the old minister, looking through his spectacles. The pattern, the color, yes, indeed. I must tell the emperor I am infinitely pleased with it. We are glad indeed to hear it, said both the weavers, and proceeded to describe the colors, naming them, and the uncommon pattern. The old minister listened carefully so as to be able to repeat it when he went back to the emperor. And so he did. The swindlers now demanded more money and more silk and gold to be used in the weaving. They pocketed it all. Not a thread was put up, but they went on, as before, weaving at the bare loom. To be continued. 後編もお楽しみに。最後までご視聴いただきありがとうございました。チャンネル登録、通知設定よかったらお願いいたします。Thank you so much for watching. 今回のことが皆さんの学習のきっかけになれば嬉しいなぁなんて思っています。Hope you'll have another wonderful week. So take care. See you next. Bye.